So we've been working on these digital collages in the style of Deborah Roberts. So this is really where you should be by now. You should have two figures collaged with at least 6 different images or parts of 6 different images that you imported. You selected parts of those images, copied those selections to new layers, and these should all be visible in your layers palette, kind of like this. Once you have your collage kind of set up, you have your two figures, you want to go ahead and group the layers that belong together for a figure, kind of like what I did here. Everything for figure 2 is in its own folder. Make those folders with this little button down here, or layer group layers. Just like tidy up, and so you're able to like move around the whole figure. So once you're like at this point, your collage looks good, we're going to move on to the next step in this video. The next step will be to add repeat patterns. It's kind of like what Deborah Roberts does. If you take a look at a lot of her work, she's really hand painting a lot of patterns onto these cut paper collages. So we don't have to hand paint them because we're using a photo editor. And it is kind of fun to be able to create your own repeat pattern. It's not terribly difficult. There are a couple little technical steps. I'm going to try to go like real slow and show you. But here's an example. I custom made this Bitcoin and red lightning bolt repeat pattern. And I made a selection and filled it with that repeat pattern. Here it is again. I just added a different blend mode on top of it. But yeah, so let's kind of start from scratch again. Like, get your collages nice and tidy, make them look good. If you have jagged edges, clean them up. Even if you have like some blurry ones, it might be time to like think about replacing maybe something that comes up like pretty blurry, like this arm is kind of borderline. I might want to replace it, but regardless, tidy it up, and then save your work. You want to save your collages because you are going to have to create a whole new PSD for your pattern and to designate the pattern. So yeah, save your collage. You can keep it open in a tab, that's fine for right now. But yeah, to create the repeat pattern, you need to create a new PSD. So I'll go File, New, and don't bother with any of these screen mobile ads until you get to 2N. You need a square. You need a square to repeat or make the repeat pattern, designate that pattern. So I tend to go for 512. It seems to be a pretty good size. If your computer's pretty slow, you might consider going down to 256. I would not go lower than that because that's when it just starts to get like pixelated and blurry. So 512 is going to work nice. Hit create. This is the canvas for your pattern. You have to be creative and think like what image or what shape, what colors you want to repeat. Obviously, like you can just like fill it with color. You can also like make selections and fill those selections with maybe different kinds of colors. Paint bucket that. Oh yeah, let's make it go all the way though. Paint bucket again. That. Yeah, and then maybe a shape or an image that you can stick to repeat. My best advice is get something in the middle and then get something to offset on the sides or from top to bottom. So you could just like use shapes. That's great. You can also like go to Google Image and maybe like pick something. I just got this head, so I'm going to copy image address for this head and get in the right project and open from a URL into the current project, paste that in. I got this head. And of course I'm gonna like delete the background by selecting it with the magic wand tool. But first, I think I have to rasterize it. Rasterize it. Boom, select the background. I'm gonna select that, done. All right, so now I have, whoops, dude's head here, whoops, right in the middle. So like I said, get something like right in the middle and then something that we can offset. So when I say offset, I mean the part that's not visible on the left will show up on the right. That's what we want to go for. So other than like getting stuff from Google Image, this like shapes button right here, custom shapes, has a whole big like shape library if you go up to the top. And I found like a couple interesting shapes. It's like the money logo or the pound, like the Bitcoin logo is like actually right there. Um, but let me see, I gotta pick one of these. I'm gonna like pick these arrow things, um, make them nice and big. And let's see. Right. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter where it is right now, because once you like play with the offset filter, you'll see. But even before you hit the offset filter, you gotta rasterize it. I don't think it lets you go filter, other, offset. No, you gotta rasterize it. Go layer, rasterize that layer. It's rasterized. Okay, and then we can go filter, other, offset. And offset's the magic filter that you know, whenever whatever is not visible or off the edge of the canvas is going to show up on the other side of the canvas. So let's try like right in the corners. But you know, even if you wanted like just it in a row, you know, you kind of play around with this. You can make like one that's like pretty simple, and so you get like the hang of it. Um, and then try to make them like maybe more complicated. But yeah, simple's good. I'm gonna like make this thing a little bit smaller so it fits nice. Okay. So yeah, like that's my nice simple pattern. You know, like I said, you can get more complicated with them, but it helps just to kind of like get a simple one and get the whole process of this. So you design your repeat pattern. Again, put something in the middle and then get something to offset. So the offset filter is filter, other, offset. And then these things come up. I can like offset my head too. Yes, but I'm going to not do that. Yeah, so you design your square. That's going to be your repeat pattern. And then you need to, once, I would just recommend saving it now just in case something happens. Go File, Save as a PSD, and go Pattern 2, because I already made Pattern 1. Saved as a PSD, and what you got to do is designate this image as a pattern, and it is an image. No, it's in Edit, Define New Pattern, New Pattern added, and then you know, then you should be able to let's go Layer, just to see it, New Fill Layer, Pattern Fill, and then these are all the patterns, and you can see it's right here. So let me see, I can scale it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, anyways, if it's like you designate it as a pattern in the like the same photo P tab, you should be able to like switch your project tab and make a selection. Here, let's see if we can get like lasso tool, select this kid's shirt. Hold shift to add to a selection. Right, so I made my selection, and then it's layer, new fill layer, pattern fill, and it should just like make a new whole pattern fill, and you can see it has a mask on it. But yeah, there's the pattern. You like click this little like this is a preview of like the default pattern. But if you click the little triangle in the bottom, you can get to your patterns that you've created. You can change the angles, you can change the scale, so you can actually see it repeat. And yeah, that's basically it. You know, it looks pretty flat. There's some other little tricks to get it to blend. You can use like a blend mode like multiply or color burn. Multiply is usually like my best friend, darken. Um, yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. If you're, I can do it again. From scratch, let's make another repeat pattern for this lady's shirt. If you're ready to go, making a new repeat pattern, you go File, New, and 2 over here, 5, 12, Create. That's the canvas. Let's make it green. And let's put in a custom shape like, it loves Bitcoin. One in the middle, and then let's get another one to offset. Oh, puzzle pieces. That's kind of neat. All right. So, oh, why did they come together? I want them on a new layer. Shape, puzzle piece, right? So, yeah, let's offset it. It doesn't really matter where you are. I think it like actually works better if it's not off the edge. Not sure. So filter, other, offset. Oh, it's not editable. Of course, you have to layer, rasterize the layer, and then go filter, other, offset. And then you move these sliders so that it's off one side and onto the other side. Corners work good too. That's basically it. Oh, it should be on wraparound. Don't forget that. Hit OK, and then it's Edit, Define New, Pattern. And then you should be able to make a selection. Lasso selection. Obviously, I'm doing this super fast for the sake of the video, and you should make your selections a lot nicer. Boom. Make your selection, and then layer, fill layer, pattern fill, and select your pattern. Scale, change the angle, so it looks kind of neat. You can also change the X-Y axis. But yeah, that's basically it. Hope you get a good handle on defining new patterns, right? Was edit, define new. Every time you like hit define new pattern, it should then show up when you like make a selection, layer, new fill layer, fill pattern, pick a pattern, pick the one that it should show up.